and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Casino Nova Scotia's Executive Director, Chris Roberts.
All right, good evening, folks. I can tell you, we have an incredible show for you tonight. Thanks so much for joining us on this blustery, windy, wet beautiful Halifax day. You know, in some ways, I think that today's weather is a fitting background for what we're going to do here tonight. Not every day can be sunny and warm, and the artists we'll honor tonight have each been through their shares of stormy seas. Tonight, a warm, safe harbor to recognize and honor their incredible achievements. I want to take a moment and acknowledge a few special guests joining us tonight. We're pleased to have and honored to have the Honorable Tony Ince on hand, Minister of Communities, Culture and Heritage. Welcome, Minister Ince. We also have Federal Member of Parliament Roger Cuzner with us from Cape Breton Island. Welcome, MP Cuzner. Wow, who knew? Part of the red wave. MP Cuzner, you're welcome here anytime. And of course, we've got the inaugural inductees of the Nova Scotia Music Hall of Fame and their families. We'll meet all of them a little bit later. But please join me in a warm welcome to these musical legends. Okay, so tonight we officially cut the ribbon on the Casino Nova Scotia Music Hall of Fame. Nothing carries the spirit of a region across borders and oceans and cultures the way that music can. Our team at CNS is proud to partner with Music Nova Scotia in creating a permanent home to learn about, to share, and to celebrate the people that have spread our message and our culture across Canada and around the world. It's really our friends at Music Nova Scotia that have done the heavy lifting in making tonight possible. They've sifted through hundreds of worthy artists and builders, separating the greater from a great list of worthy inductees. Tonight, we'll honor 5, but I tell you, friends, it's only the beginning. In the years ahead, we'll be expanding the breadth of this great Hall of Fame to include not only Nova Scotians, but the musical elite from across the Atlantic provinces. It's an exciting project, and Casino Nova Scotia is proud to be its home. Of course, these events don't come together without a great team behind us. I want to thank our sponsors, our great partner, the Nova Scotia Provincial Lottery and Casino Corporation, 105.9 Seaside FM, our great neighbor, the Marriott, Halifax Harbourfront, Seaside Communications, the Deltas Barrington and Halifax, CTV Atlantic, C100 FM, and the Chronicle Herald. I'm out of breath, and you're probably tired of me. You came for music. That's right. Okay, so let's get to the show. Please welcome your host for the evening. She is a Canadian Screen Award nominee and a Gemini Award-winning actor, currently playing school secretary Trudy Walsh on CBC's hit comedy Mr. D, and he is a founding member of the Rise and Follies of Cape Breton Island and the Cape Breton Summertime Review. Your hosts for tonight, Bette McDonald and Maynard Morrison.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the Casino Nova Scotia Music Hall of Fame Inductee Gala.
We want to take this opportunity to thank Stephen Cook and the Chronicle Herald for providing the videos which you saw as you entered the room, and CTV for the inductee videos you'll see through the show.
We would also like to thank Grant Haverstock of Firehouse Ironworks in Waikagama for designing and making these beautiful awards. Yes.
Tonight, the Music Hall of Fame will recognize the contributions of East Coast musicians and industry movers who have had a major impact on the development of Canada's East Coast culture and music.
Tonight you'll hear the music of Anne Murray, John Allan Cameron, Rita MacNeil,
and songs inspired by Portia White.
You'll also hear songs sung in honor of our very first inductee.
An innovator since its inception over 40 years ago, Brookes Diamond Productions is known for its artist development and landmark productions.
We've produced a lot of shows, starting with the Atlantic Folk Festival, which was the first one of its kind, our own production of Drum, which has toured the world, and of course the many shows with Rita MacNeil.
To work with an artist of her magnitude certainly was one of the very great highlights. We brought home the first Juno and gold and platinum records for an artist who was from this part of the world.
To be honored in this way is a huge honor. I couldn't be prouder.
We honor Brookes Diamond Productions, proudly representing our Nova Scotia talent around the world.
Well, what can you say about Brookes and Fiona when their kids are in the room?
Well, good night. Nope, I'm only kidding. Also, I'm looking for my place on the page. No, actually, we're going to have more to say about Brookes and Fiona in a little bit.
Don't worry, it won't hurt much. But first, he's a multiple ECMA winner.
A lead vocalist for the Scottish supergroup Runrig, and also my imaginary boyfriend, I'm not going to lie to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Bruce Guthro.
The sea's a little darker in Make and Break Harbor. The wind blows cold with fewer sails to fill. No longer does a train go by your Nova Scotian home. Foreign ships still rape our coast while our fishing boats lie still. We sift through broken promises, unemployment lines. See our children move away and call from time to time. And the songs that you have left for us, they grow truer by the day. Almost like you never went away. But I feel a storm building, blowing across the plains, driven hard by an eastward wind like it's coming home again. Carrying a giant, I hear you laughing now as you pound your fists for the rain to fall on the fields behind the plow. And the waves crash up against privateer's wharf, and the hand of Franklin charts the course with a crash of thunder through the cold hard rain. We'll see the giant rise again. And your music still fills our veins, puts fire in our blood. It stood the test of time and change. It helped us rise above. And the songs that you have left for us, they grow truer by the day. Almost like you never went away. Have you wandered from that land of distant thunder to help to guide a heart and hand, to help to craft a song, or danced upon a fiddler's knee, or on a bow in open sea, felt the north wind on your face and called to bring her on. Tonight the evening sun will set down in the western sky. We'll lock our doors in from the storms where souls and spirits fly. And somewhere in the darkness a candle lights away, almost like you never went away. Thank you very much. Wow. What a friggin' night we have planned for you guys. We got like 5 of the coolest and most deserving inductees, very first time into the Hall of Fame. Very first time. That's pretty cool. We got an amazing cast of artists back there that would blow your mind. We have the all-star band, and Bette McDonald fantasizes about being my girlfriend. How friggin', I just died and went to heaven, folks. So what do you say about Brookes and Fiona? I'll say this. They're probably 2 of the hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. They've raised an incredible family, and their marriage has survived working together every day since Christ was a little fella. That's pretty incredible. They managed my career for 10 years, and I can honestly say I would not be standing on this stage right now if it were not for their help. Absolutely, yeah. A few years back, it was time that we parted ways, and it was very clear we had to, because Brookes sat me down one time and he said, Fiona said I have to stop drinking rum. And I said, Brookes, I can't work with a manager if you don't drink rum. But we agreed to disagree and shook hands and wished each other the best and moved on. A few years later, we went out to my 50th birthday party at the house, and all the responsible people left in around midnight and went home. Fiona was one of those responsible people. Brookes, of course, stuck around. Around 4 o'clock in the morning, he found my wife, put his arm around her and said, "Do you have any rum?" Kim proceeded to take him upstairs and lead him to the liquor cabinet, where she offered him a beautiful glass of Captain Morgan white rum. And he said, "Oh, I could not touch white rum. Do you have any dark rum?" Kim said, "No, Brookes, we don't have any dark rum." And he said, "I bought Brucey a nice bottle of dark rum for his birthday. Let's go find it." Now, to make a long story short, I never saw the bottle of dark rum. He drank half of it that night and left with the other half the next day. But I was down in Barbados, and I'd like to present this to him tonight. I picked up a nice bottle of amber rum. On the back of it, it says, "From the private reserve of Brookes Diamond. And Fiona, it's for you." Because Brookes doesn't drink rum anymore. There is a few drinks out of it, because I wanted to share with some of the boys before Brookes got his hand on it. And Brookes, I just want you to know I'm going to keep that in a very safe place for you backstage. Joking aside, I love you guys. You've done so much for Kim and I and the kids. You pushed my career to places I never believed it could go. And this was the song that got us started, broke the doors open. This is called Falling. I will be in town tomorrow. Could you meet me at the station? There is something I would like to talk to you about. It's just this thing that has been on my mind forever. And I was hoping we could find a way to work it out. Oh, by the way, this is Martin. Just in case you have forgotten what I sound like. It's been a long, long time. They say that absence helps the heart grow fonder. Ah, well, anyway, I'd like to see you, if you don't mind. The night the Blue Jays won the pennant, I was sitting in the second row. I thought of you all throughout the game, and how we'd curl up on the sofa on a Friday night and holler at the players like they could hear what we were saying. Look, I'm sorry if I hurt you. I'm so sorry that I left. And as of late, seems I'm sorry all the time. Wishing wells and shooting stars have been my friends. I have come to realize that all the fault was mine. And I am falling to a world I can't describe. I am cold, 'cause I'd like to say goodbye. Hey, I will be in town tomorrow. Could you meet me at the station? If it's just to see your face as a train pulls through. I just want to see you laugh, cry, shake your head at me. I just want to see what 20 years has done to you. 'Cause I am falling into a world I can't describe. And I am calling. I'd like to say goodbye. Will you take me by the hand? Say you understand, or will you want to drag me down onto my knees? These are chances I must take, and I know I must not forsake your right to do and feel just what you please. But I don't have a lot of time to right the wrongs I left behind, to undo all the damage I have done. So I'm calling you to ask for your forgiveness. Is that so much to ask? Of your son? Hey, I will be in town tomorrow. Could you meet me at the station? There is something I would like to talk to you about. Thank you. God bless you, Brookes and Fiona. Congratulations.
Brookes and Fiona Diamond, one known for beauty,
And one known for brains.
and that one is Fiona.
So, what does Brookes bring to the table?
I will tell you, charm.
Oh, yes. He's very charming.
Yes. And he loves talent.
And he's full of ideas, and he gets excited.
And sometimes you don't know what the hell he's talking about.
He speaks in phrases and parables that no one else knows.
1 minute, I can tell you this from experience, 1 minute you're having a wonderful conversation with this very, very interesting man, and then the next minute you're barreling down a dirt road in St. John's, Newfoundland, throwing 50 down for a bottle of bootleg hooch. And I can tell you that's true because I was there.
He was one of the first in the early boy band scene. He met a group of young singers in the early 60s, loved their sound.
But he felt that they needed a gimmick. He said to them, "Do you think you could do an Irish accent?"
He said, "We'll put an O in front of two of your names, and we'll name the band after that fella."
And that's how Ryan's Fancy was born.
Well, that's how Brookes sees it.
We've both worked closely for years with Fiona and Brookes, and I can't tell you how long because I don't want you to know how old I might possibly be. But it's a long, long time.
I can't remember the first time I met them. That was back in the day when a couple of drinks meant 12. When I was leaving, I actually put my boots on the wrong feet.
He put them on the guy sitting next to him. It happens. But tonight, Fiona and Brookes, we're celebrating all that you have done for artists and for audiences across Canada and around the world, really.
In his early days, Brookes had some iffy ideas. It was his brainstorm to have a beer bottle drive to raise money for his first outdoor concert. But he and his buddies decided that they'd only collect bottles they drank themselves. So the fundraiser cost them about $600.
Fiona's ideas are consistently good. And do you see her tonight?
Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. You both look terrific.
They stand out in the crowd. I overheard somebody on first seeing them saying, "What a pair."
Yeah. Once again, I think they were talking about just Fiona, but I think we've set the tone for the evening. Congratulations, Brookes Diamond Productions, for your induction into the Music Hall of Fame and for all you've done in this business and continue to do, of course. You deserve this honor in
And
such a big way.
as busy as they are, they're joining us in a business venture. Brookes Diamond
Yes.
and our company, Good Deer Productions, will soon bring you Caper condoms.
We're very, very excited. They're tartan condoms.
That was
and
Brooks's idea,
that
right?
was Brooks's idea. But Fiona had the great idea to name them after Cape Breton place names.
And indicate their sizes.
Yes. So we have the Petit de Gras,
The Grand Tang,
the Little Narrows,
Big Pond, and of course the most popular size,
the Giant McCaskill. See, you should have known better than to invite people from Cape Breton. I'm just saying. Brookes and Fiona, congratulations, our darling friends, on this honor. It's so well deserved.
We hope to continue to work with you for another 100 years.
Although after tonight, I seriously doubt that will happen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our very first members of the Casino Nova Scotia Music Hall of Fame, Fiona and Brookes Diamond. Go ahead.
And presenting the award from Seaside FM, Gail Rice.
Well, how do you follow that? I want to thank, first of all, Casino Nova Scotia and Music Nova Scotia for this wonderful night and for the Music Hall of Fame. It's an incredible honor for us, and I'm sure for the other inductees and their families. Also, I want to thank all these amazing people on the stage tonight. I'm not sure about Bette and Maynard. I might have to talk to them a little later on, but thank you to all of them. So little did I know what was in store the day many years ago when a promoter, unknown to me, called Brookes Diamond, arrived in my office at the Dalhousie Student Union, where I was programming director. And he tried to sell me an Irish group called Ryan's Fancy. He wanted to do them on a weeknight, and he wanted too much money in my mind. He got his way. The night was a huge success, and I've had a hard time saying no to him ever since. To be honored in this way is overwhelming, and particularly in the company of these iconic artists. It's these people and those who have come after them that have made our career possible. There have been challenges. We've met lots of resistance to our ideas and struggled to make them work financially. Still do, actually. But there have been so many rewards. Experiencing the best of our East Coast artists performing on stage with the likes of John Prine, Pete Seeger, Buffy St. Marie at Moxham Farm in Hardwood Lands at the Atlantic Folk Festival. Watching a packed house at Royal Albert Hall in London, mesmerized by Rita MacNeil's performance. Bette MacDonald winning a Gemini for her performance at the Halifax Comedy Festival. Rita MacNeil receiving her first Juno for her, and she beat out a Quebec singer, what was her name again? Oh, Celine Dion. 10,000 people doing the wave at the Halifax Metro Centre in support for Symphony Nova Scotia at the Symphony Explosion. And sitting in the CBC boardroom on Sackville Street as a room full of executives embraced our idea of creating a festival that showcased the brilliant comedy performers of the East Coast. And the first standing ovation for drum in the US at the sold-out Van Wezel Theater in the US. I can tell you, Brookes and I did not breathe for 10 minutes until we heard the first burst of applause that night in Florida. Over the years, our industry has changed and evolved. Vinyl has been replaced by streaming. Technology has made the world our competitor, and live performance is threatened by electronic solutions. But at the same time, infrastructure is being built. The creative economy is starting to be recognized as an economic driver. And most important of all, the talent in this part of the world is as rich and strong as ever. The opportunity has never been better to take our talent to the world, to exploit the windows that technology opens, and to make our culture a focal point for economic and social prosperity for Nova Scotia. We are so grateful for being able to work in this amazing place, doing what we love, and working with the best people anywhere. And speaking of the best people, we have to thank our family, whose unwavering support has always been with us through both the bad times and good. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. After all those lies, this whole show started with, I don't know how they're going to get this ship righted. And I could go into some detail, particularly on that Guthro story. But I will get it all explained at home this evening, you can be sure of that. So I better put my glasses on, and this is not going to be long, so don't worry. No, I'm good, Fiona, thank you. There are a few people we do have to thank. Over these years, our company would never have gone where it's gone without these folks, and their names have to be spoken. Some of you will know some of these people, certainly anybody in the industry knows these people well. Michael Arden, Sherry Jones, Chip Sutherland, Wendy Phillips, Hugh Davidson, Heather Francie, Christine Boudeman. Heather and Christine are both here tonight. David Perlmutter, Sheila Blair Reed, I think Sheila's here as well. Jacques Gautreau, Doris Mason and her drum cast and crew. And speaking of crew, I have to say that here on the East Coast, if you've worked around the world, we have the best crewmen that you will find anywhere. Gentlemen and fabulous workers. And last but not least, our mentor and our friend, Rakesh Jain, business manager, really. I also want to throw in a few highlights. Some of these really are snapshots, but they're things that occur to me here and there, and they're wonderful memories. And I've written them down. I may read some of these. You have to kind of picture some of these a little bit. Seeing Rita's face after the flowers arrived in her London suite from Omar Sharif. She'd been on a talk show with him, and the little love bug, I think, stirred. It was a wonderful thing to see. Then, seeing Margaret Thatcher's face as she stared at Rita, blasting out a full-throated version of Working Man. At the same time, Maggie was shutting down the coaling industry in England. So you can sort of picture what that must have looked like. Rita didn't get a standing ovation on that one. Sharon, Lois, and Bram on Broadway. The time we actually had to stop the show at the Atlantic Folk Festival, 15,000 people in the middle of the festival, because they would not stop chanting for Wilf Carter to do an encore, and he was actually in the limousine on his way to the airport to fly back to the United States. Don't get yourself caught in that one. My first negotiation with Dennis Ryan, very first. It was the first negotiation I ever did in my life. And yes, by the way, he did leave me some. But we're still friends. He's sitting with us tonight. Joe Graves. The day he loaned us the money to do Flying on Your Own. The source of the money is something of a family secret, but he should not have done it. But he did, and Flying on Your Own became what it is, and the rest of it unfolded from there. Mary and Deborah, his daughter, is Mary, his wife, and her husband Rob are here tonight. The first time I heard a brand new singer-songwriter sing Stan's tune, which you heard tonight, which he had just written, to two packed Rebecca Cohen standing ovations. And he was brand new on the scene. We were very proud of him. It was a show just for Stan songs, but he insisted he had written one and had to sing it. Playing chess at dawn with Stompin' Tom, waking each other up so we could make each other's moves. That was in his hotel room here in Halifax. The first time, and it might be difficult to imagine for some people here of some ages, but of other ages you might understand this, but the first time I ever actually heard an East Coast song being played on the radio. The DJ, Eric McEwen. You guys would know Eric. It was shocking, but it was fabulous. And it was just the start. And the classic scene of all, like on Letterman's Top 10 or whatever, Rita on the Junos with the Men of the Deeps, and the whole place in tears. It was an incredible night. Being in this industry has been an incredible experience. We have been, Fiona and I, so blessed to have been a part of this, all of this. It's never been a job. It's been our life. The people in the industry have never been our friends. They've been our family. Nova Scotia and Atlantic Canada have been our home, but they've been our heart. We love this place, and we love the people we're with. Thank you so much for this.
Portia White was a legendary Canadian contralto who was born in Truro, Nova Scotia. She was very proud of her Nova Scotian and Canadian heritage, and she talked about it when she traveled. It wasn't only that she was of African descent, it was that there was no match for her at that time. When you think about the East Coast music scene in the 1940s and 50s, there was no one quite like Portia White. The critics couldn't find enough adjectives to describe her. People gravitated towards her, and so she made a mark in terms of that field of classical music that still stands today.
We honor Portia White.
Here to sing for Portia White, ECMA and Juno Award winner, Meaghan Smith.
Fond heart is near thee.
We heard this next performer at the Cohen when she opened for the legendary Lisa Fisher. Now she's creating her own legend.
ANSMA Award winner and Casino, Nova Scotia 2015 Artist in Residence.
Winner of the Portia White Award for Excellence in Vocal Performance.
Please welcome
the superb Reeny Smith.
Still away, still away, still away to Jesus. Still away, still away home. I ain't got to stay here. My Lord, He calls me by the thunder, the trumpet sounds within my soul. But I ain't got long to stay here. Oh, still away, still away, still away to Jesus. Still away home. I ain't got long to stay here.
Everybody, please welcome the Smiths.
Pull your mic down a little bit if you need to.
Right on, King Jesus. No man cannot hinder me. Right on, King Jesus. Right on. No man cannot hinder me. No man cannot hinder me. Right on, King Jesus. No man cannot hinder me. Right on, King Jesus. Right on. No man cannot hinder me. 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 In that great getting up morning, fare thee well, fare thee well. In that great getting up morning, fare cannot hinder me. No man 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 cannot hinder me.
To present the Portia White Induction Award from Nova Scotia Provincial Lotteries and Casino Corporation, here's Julie Kaiser. Accepting the award, please welcome Jerry Clark.
I can't tell you the joy, the pride, the humility that I feel being the nephew of Portia White. The accolades that she has received are beyond my expectations. I was able to know her for a little while before she passed away in 1968. But I remember that when she would come home from Toronto, there was always joy and celebration in the house. The brothers and sisters, of which there were 13, would gather around the kitchen table and sing songs like I've never heard before, and it was just amazing to hear that voice. I'm so proud to be able to receive this honor in Portia's name, and I pray and hope that her name will live on forever because she's made such an enormous contribution to the music scene in Nova Scotia, and especially for African Nova Scotians, African Canadians. But not only was she the first recipient of the Talent Trust Award, but she paved the way for other young and budding artists in the music field that I can be proud of that as well. She was not, I'll use this term in its best sense, she was not racist in her thinking. That is, she was just an artist. She was just a pure human being who wanted to do her best and bring the best out in others. And so I certainly applaud her for that, and I applaud the people of Nova Scotia and the Talent Trust for all that they have done for musicians locally and beyond. So thank you very much for this award.
Murray has delighted millions of fans around the world with her signature voice and time-honored songs. In the course of her illustrious career, she has sold over 50 million recordings. She has received 4 Grammy Awards, 24 Juno Awards, 3 American Music Awards, and 3 Canadian Country Music Awards. In 1989, Anne fulfilled a personal goal when she opened the Anne Murray Centre in her hometown, Spring Hill. Now entering its 26th year, the centre still brings tourists into the town and employs residents on a seasonal basis. As timeless as the music she has shared with us for 4 decades, Anne Murray is, and always will be, Canada's national treasure. We honor Anne Murray.
He's an internationally famous guitarist.
A New Brunswick Hall of Fame inductee.
He played with Mo Kaufman, Dusty Springfield,
Celine Dion and Anne Murray, of course.
who he met on Sing Along Jubilee.
Backstage, he told me that in 1979, Leonard Rambo called him and asked if he would like to go on the road with Anne. And he said, well, how long do you think this gig will last? Because, you want to make a plan. So he told him, quite possibly 5 years. Well, it lasted 30 years.
Please welcome George Hebert.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again Meaghan Smith.
Always
that magic moment when I held you close to me. As we moved together, I knew forever you're all I'll ever need. But I have this dance for the rest of my life. Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Thank you. I'd love to get my buddy. Hey, Dave, do you want to play a song with me?
Sure,
Yeah, sing a. Cool. Dave Gunning. No big deal. So I grew up listening to Anne Murray. My parents, introduced me, and of course, I became a fan in my own right. But not until recently did I really have that moment with me and Anne, where it was like we bonded over a song. And I recently became a new mother. He's a little over a year old, and when I was approached about doing a tribute for Anne, this song just came to mind, and I said, I have to sing this song. It is my life right now. The lyrics in the chorus especially, even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when I rise, you bring a tear of joy to my eyes. There are tears every morning at my house. A lot of them are mine. Yeah, I get it. I just really get it. And Anne's voice on that is just, I will do my best to do it justice. It just is a beautiful song, and I'm just honored to sing it tonight with Dave. Here we go. People smile and tell me I'm the lucky one, and we've just begun. I think I'm gonna have a son. He will be like him and me, free as a dove, conceived in love. Sun is gonna shine above. Even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. In the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright. I love a guy who holds the world in a paper cup. Drink it up. Love him and he'll bring you love. And if you find he helps your mind, better take him home. Don't you live alone. Try to earn my lover's own. Even though we
and love this next performer.
Member of the world-famous Rankin family.
A Juno, CCMA, and American, there you go, either way. She's a Juno, CCMA, American Country Music Award winner.
Her new solo recording, and we've heard it.
Oh,
it's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Fine Line's going to be released in February 2016.
Please welcome Heather Rankin.
I'll take that.
Snowy mantle, cold and clean. The unborn grass lies waiting for its coat to turn to green. The snowbird sings the song he always sings and speaks to me of flowers that will bloom again in spring. When I was young, my heart was young then too. Emptiness within, for the thing that I want most in life's the thing that I can't win. Spread your tiny wings and fly away, and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. The one I love forever is untrue, and if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. The breeze along the river seems to say that he'll only break my heart again should I decide to stay. So little snowbird, take me with you when you go to that land of gentle breezes where the peaceful waters flow. Spread your tiny wings and fly away, and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. The one I love forever is untrue, and if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. Yes, spread your tiny wings and fly away, and take the snow back with you where it came from on that day. The one I love forever is untrue, and if I could, you know that I would fly away with you. Yeah, if I could, you know that I would fly away with you.
To present Anne Murray's Inductee Award, please welcome Jessica Muzzerl from the Marriott Halifax Harbourfront Hotel. And accepting the award on Anne Murray's behalf, here's Bette MacDonald.
Thank you very much. I don't quite know what to do. I'll wear it, Shell. Well, obviously, it's a great honor to accept this award for Anne. Like everybody in this room and everybody in the country and everybody in the world, I'm a huge fan of that rich and beautiful voice. And she also has a honkin' sense of humor. I don't know if you're aware of that. I spoke with Anne last Tuesday, and I can tell you that she's very, very happy to receive this honor. She's been retired for a number of years now, and she's enjoying retirement very, very much. but there are some things that she does miss. And she told me that what she misses most about performing is working and spending time with her band members. George is here somewhere. Most of whom she was with for 30 plus years. And she also said that she misses hearing the audience sing along, especially at Christmas time. Backstage, I asked George Hebert about his favorite memory of playing with Anne, and he spoke of a beautiful night at the Greek Amphitheater in LA with a full moon and a sky full of stars playing the best music in the world. I think that's a fairly decent memory, and I think Anne would agree with that very much. She wanted me to make sure that I tell you how honored she is to be in the company of the other inductees. So for the great Anne-Marie, I'm very proud to say thank you very, very much.
He's known as the godfather of Celtic music. Born in Mabu, Cape Breton, to a family of fiddlers, John Allan Cameron pioneered traditional Scottish Gaelic tunes with his 12-string guitar. He was a regular on Sing Along Jubilee in the 1960s, and in the 1970s, the John Allan Cameron Show on CTV made him a household name in Canada. During his career, John Allan Cameron released 10 albums. His work is seen as the spark that ignited the resurgence of traditional Celtic music, blazing the trail for a generation of musicians worldwide. John Allan Cameron received the East Coast Music Association's Lifetime Achievement Award, and in 2003 was inducted as a member of the Order of Canada. We honor John Allan Cameron, the godfather of Celtic music.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is a multiple ECMA and Canadian Folk Music Award winner.
Winner of the Great Canadian Song Quest for 2013.
And he's one of the best loved artists in the business. Please help us welcome the sweet and adorable Dave Gunning.
He always made that look easy. I gotta go have a nap now. Well, John Allan Cameron's a huge influence of mine. Actually, the first concert I ever saw was a John Allan Cameron concert at the West Pictou High School gym in 1981. That was Stan Rogers opened the show that night, and Ali Bennett, who was playing bass here, and that was in the show that night. So, growing up in my house, just to be totally honest, there was no difference between Elvis Presley and John Allan Cameron at our house. There really wasn't. And I got to play with him in the late 90s, played a few shows with him, and he'd always feature me right in the middle of the show. He was always so kind and generous to share his stage with up-and-coming musicians, and I'm one of the ones that he helped support when I was getting started, and just so feel so honored to be here tonight to pay tribute to him. Come on out and sing harmony, Guthro, if you feel like it. No pressure. No pressure. I did it for you.
Sound the peep rock loud on high, from John the Brookes to the Isle of Skye. Let every clan their slogan cry, rise and follow Charlie. A sheep a sheep a sheep rise and follow Charlie. Oh, see that small devoted band by dark Loch Shield that take their stand and bravely vowed with heart in hand to rise and follow Charlie. A sheep a sheep a sheep rise and follow Charlie on dark Aladdin's field of war. Hark, they cry, Claymore, Claymore. They bravely fight, but what can they more? But rise and fight for Charlie. Sheep, sheep, rise and follow Charlie. So no more we'll see such deeds again. Deserted is each highland glen, in lonely cairns lie o'er the men who fought and died for Charlie. A sheep, yeah, a sheep, a sheep, rise and follow Charlie. A sheep, a sheep, a sheep.
Dave Gunning.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks, Bruce. So there's no question. There's a lot of us here in the room tonight who knew John Allan. A lot of good friends in the audience, including Brookes and Fiona, obviously. And a lot of people were touched by John Allan and influenced by John Allan, but none more than his son, Stuart Cameron. Stuart Cameron.
Thanks, Dave. It's really lovely to be here tonight. I almost didn't get on my flight this morning out of Toronto because they oversold it. And I figured out how I got on. I said, if you want to go to the gate B41 or D41 right now and explain to the woman that's crying right now, that's my mother. You want to go talk to her? And they got me on the flight. They did offer me $400. It's going to be, it's almost 9 years this November the 22nd since my father has passed, and it's still fresh, it's still new, but it's shortly after he passed, I opened up one of his guitar cases, and he had those beautiful Martins, and I opened up one of the cases, and there was a Father's Day card in there. I don't know how old I was when I made it, or it's called Father's Day card.
Well, I opened up the case and found a Father's Day card. Remember giving to him in our old backyard. Remember how Dad used to make a big deal about a colored piece of paper saying how I feel. If he were here now, know exactly what I'd say. I'd tell him that I miss him every single day. If he were here now, know exactly what I'd do. I thank him for the times he said I love you. Now walking in his footsteps with nothing to regret. And if he can see this, I hope and I know I'm standing here so low, but still feel you so close. And if you can hear this, you'll know I wrote this song just for you.
I have to tell you about this second verse. My mother and father met in Big Pond. Maynard and Bet were mentioning Big Pond earlier, right, Brookes? But my parents met at the fire hall after the dance, after the Big Pond concert, and they invited him over to the house and everything, and that's where they had their first dance. And the first time that he went over to my Aunt Christie's place, they brought out the nice china because, well, he was on the radio and everything. And then when my mother and father got married, the next time he went over to the house, they gave him a cup with the ear missing off of the heating.
Well, it always seems to hit when you least expect, like seeing that dust on his old tape deck, or drinking from a cup with the chip on the rim. It don't bother me, 'cause it never bothered him. If he were here now, know exactly what I'd say. I'd tell him that I miss him every single day. If he were here now, know exactly what I'd do. I thank him for the times he said I love you. Now walking in his footsteps with nothing to regret.
if he can see this, I hope and I hope and I know I'm standing here so low, but still feel you so close. And if you can't hear this, you'll know I wrote this song just for you. Just for you to see that sun come shining exactly what I'd say. I'd tell him that I miss him every single day. Now walking in his footsteps with nothing to regret. And if he can't see this, I hope and I hope and I know I'm standing here so low, but still feel so close. And if you can't hear this, you'll know I wrote this song just for you. Thank you.
Beautiful, Stuart. Beautiful, honey. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again Bruce Guthro.
Bruce said to me, he said, I can't wait to hear the rest of the song. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, the last time you tried to do that song was about 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll tell you when my mother's not in the room.
Go over on your own microphone. It was in my hotel room at the CCMA weekend. We were swapping songs, and that's an incredible song. John Allan would be incredibly proud of that song, Stuart. So am I. Beautiful song, man. Look at the three of us here, boys. We should form a band, eh? Huh? We're going to lose money. We might as well lose it together.
Hey, Brookes, are you in?
There's full bottles of rum in it for you.
Well, there's a half one out back you can have right now.
There's a quarter.
That's right. You should have took it while you had a chance, Brooksy. John Allan Cameron meant the world to me, folks. There's stories I could tell about your dad, Stuart, that I could be here half the night, but we don't have that. So, but one in particular I do want to tell. John Allan was a guy, you could be in a stuffy room of corporate people and nervous musicians, and he would walk in, and within 3 minutes the room would be alive with spirit. That's the kind of guy. That's how powerful he was in his character. And as David said, always welcoming, always helping, always trying to give of himself to other people. I called him one time for a festival. It's my best John Allan story, or one of them anyway. For a festival, you would have been this high, as is my son Dylan was then. And I asked him, I said, look, I have no money. I'll start there. And but I'd like you to come down and play the festival, and it's the first time I'm ever doing one. I'm organizing. You can sleep at my house, and you have to sleep in Dylan's bed under Bert and Ernie blankets. And there was dead silence on the other, and I thought, my God, I blew it. I should have offered him a hotel room at least, for God's sakes. Dead silence, and then he comes back and said, well, I'd prefer Grover, but I'll come and play your festival anyway. God's truth. Here's to you, old fella. Here's a song. In the corner, there's a dancer on the floor, there's drink upon the table, there's one who calls for more, there's Gaelic in the fiddle like the Gaelic in the glen, and the songs take on new meaning, boy, she's getting dark again, for the second time since we got up, she's getting dark again. tunes this morning, or was that yesterday? Where friends and fiddles gather, where friends and fiddles play. There were lots of those were good times, and do you remember when? But that was jigs and reels ago. It's getting dark again, getting dark again. For the second time since we got up, it's getting dark again. Now many of you are slighted by the deeds that we have done, by the fellowship of friendship or the fantasy of fun. Well, we'd like to say we're sorry, shed a tear for you, but then we haven't got the time right now. She's getting dark, getting dark again, getting dark again. For the second time since we got up, it's getting dark again. There's a piper in the corner, there's a dancer on the floor, there's drink upon the table, there's one who calls for more, and there's Gaelic in the fiddle like the Gaelic in the glen. And the songs take on new meaning, boy, she's getting dark again, getting dark again. For the second time since we got her, she's getting dark again, getting dark again, getting dark again. For the second time since we got her, she's getting dark again. And the songs take on new meaning, boy, she's getting dark again. You gotta do another John Allan tune. What do you got? I'll say quickly while Jamie's switching instruments. Another thing I'll never forget, the first time I ever sang Falling on a big stage was the ECMAs at the Metro Center, and I don't know, God knows when. My hair was even like down to there back then. And I'll never forget, ever forget, where John Allan sat. He was about 3 rows back, right here, and he was the first person in the audience to leap to his feet. I'll never forget it. It was like an image, I can see it right now. And that's the kind of guy he was. Good to go? Feel free to get up and dance if you like.
We danced in the morning when the world was begun, and danced in the moon and the stars and the sun. We came down from heaven and I left on earth, and Bethlehem I had my birth. Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he.
Scribes and the Pharisees, but they wouldn't dance and they wouldn't follow me. I danced for the fishermen James and John, they danced with me and the dance went on. Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he.
The Sabbath and they cured the lame. The holy people said it was a shame. They whipped me, stripped me, and hung me high, left me here on the cross to die. Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all the dance, said he.
I danced on the Friday when the world turned black. It's hard to dance with the devil on your back. Body and thought I'd done, the dance goes on.
Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all the dance, said he. You cut me down, I leapt up high, I am the life that will never, never die. I'll live in you if you live in me, I am the Lord of the dance, said he. Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all. Help us out! Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all. One more! Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you on wherever you may be, and I'll lead you on the density. Yes!
Stuart Jolliffe will now present the award to John Allan Cameron's wife and son, Angela and Stuart Cameron.
Yes. All together now on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes! I know that Janelle's up there and he's looking down at all of us right now and he is saying that to each one of you. And I'm just overwhelmed. I want to thank Casino Halifax and Nova Scotia Music for all the work that they put into this day for Stuart and I to share with all of you. And it just, from my heart, thank you.
For 37 years, my parents had a beautiful, beautiful marriage, and there wasn't a day that passed that my father didn't refer to my mother as his bride. I think that's the most romantic thing in the world. If I could come up with something like that someday, it would be wonderful. But it takes family and it takes support from home. So, Mom, this is just as much about you as it is for Dad, because there were times where he would go on the road for 3 months at a time, and that's what you had to do. We didn't know any different, but this is really a lot about you, and this is celebrating family, and of course, seeing Allie Bennett up here means the world to the both of us as well, because Allie was on the road with my dad for about 25, 26, 27 years. When David McIsaac and Allie Bennett used to come off the road and stay at our house in Markham, our ongoing joke was, "Shh, the babies are sleeping." But those were my influences growing up. So Allie, this is about you as well, and David McIsaac and Fred Lavery and Bruce Guthro and Dave Gunning. I remember meeting Dave Gunning at the DeCoste Center in Pictou. It's all about family, and that's something that's really special about the music down here, and about culture, and about the people. It doesn't really matter what kind of music it is. It actually, when you have people supporting it, when you have people loving it, when you have people at home to come home to, and support you when you're gone, that's what it's really, really all about. So I know that my dad is looking down here tonight and smiling. 2 seconds, I know I'm scrambling all over the place, but I was texting with a friend earlier, and who met my dad a few times, and he goes, I feel, his voice is down here, he said, I feel your father's presence. And he said, I never got to tell him that I love him, but I do. And we get a lot of messages like that from people, and we never get tired of hearing stories of the amount of people that my father talked to and took time to listen to them, and it kind of teaches us all a lesson. So let's call somebody when you get home late tonight and wake them up. It's Sunday. Who cares? Have a couple of drinks. Anyway, everybody, thank you very much, Dad. We miss you. We think of you, and he is not forgotten.
Big Pond, she was known as Cape Breton's First Lady of Song. Rita MacNeil's music spoke of her love of home and family and the courage to rise above life's challenges. During her career, Rita recorded more than 24 albums, which sold in the millions. She won 3 Juno Awards, as well as several CCMA and East Coast Music Awards. She hosted her own television program and has starred in several internationally acclaimed TV specials. Proud to be a member of the Order of Canada and the Order of Nova Scotia, she also holds 5 honorary doctorates. She operated Rita's Tea Room in her hometown of Big Pond, which still continues and is in its 29th year. We honor Rita MacNeil, Cape Breton's First Lady of Song.
Recipient of the first ever Musician Special Achievement Awards for the ECMAs, putting the finishing touches on his second solo album, second solo CD.
He played with Rita for 14 years, and she thought the world of him. And I know loved him as a solo artist. He's an incredible solo artist.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
the freakishly talented Kim Dunn.
Thank you very much, Betty and Maynard. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight and to have an opportunity to sing one of Rita's songs. I often think about, as has been mentioned about John Allan tonight and everybody else, how generous Rita was with her time and with her stage and spotlight. You know, if she knew that you were writing and recording your own music, she went out of her way to make sure that you had an opportunity to sing it and perform it on her stage every night. And I benefited greatly from that, as did many others. And she got such a charge, really got a charge out of helping and seeing people strive. She'd ask me, Kim, did you sell any CDs tonight, dear? Well, yeah, I sold, 9 or 10, Rita. No, darling, that's not good enough. Tomorrow night, you'll sing 2 songs, okay? And then tomorrow night, or the next night, she'd ask me again, Kim, did you sell any more CDs tonight, darling? Yeah, Rita, I sold 30 or 40 tonight. And it would make her night. She'd just bounce out of her skin. And I remember one time I suggested I sing 3 the next night, and she said, no, don't push it, honey. Now, I just want to mention, I've had the great pleasure of hosting a wonderful little, for the past 3 summers, a great little concert series that was created and conjured up by her son, Wade, and it happens every Sunday in the summer months at the Tea Room in Big Pond, and her spirit is alive and well down there. What a great and I've been using that as sort of an opportunity to not only just play her songs, but to dive in a little deeper and start singing a lot of her music. And what a wonderful, extraordinary catalog of tunes she has. And I'm going to do one of them for you right now. Thanks. You're flying on your own. You're never more happy, girl. Never oh so blue. Once heartache begins, nobody wins. You're flying on your own. And when you know
that you can't never more fool. Once you break through, it's all up to you. You're flying on your own. We're never more together. You were never more apart. Those pieces of you were all that you knew. You're flying on your own. When you know the wings you ride can keep you in the sky. There isn't anyone holding back you. First you stumble, then you fall. You reach out and you fly. There isn't anything that you can do. When you know the wings you find, you reach out in the sky. There isn't anyone holding back you. And you stumble and you fall. You reach out and you fly. There isn't anything. There isn't anything. There is not anything you can do. Flying on your own. Flying on your
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
We want to take this opportunity to introduce the band. Our music director on guitars, Jamie Robinson. Adam Dowling on drums. Jamie Gaddy on bass guitar. Allie Bennett on fiddle and guitars. And on keyboards, Kim Dunn. And now, once again, the incredible Reeny Smith.
If you have a moment today of your time when you give your blessing to all of mankind, to walk in your good is what it will take to break through the darkness and free us again. The climb up the mountain grows harder each year, and where once there was goodness and now there is fear, glory to heaven, grant us your peace, and watch over this world while night brings us sleep. Choirs of angels singing on high, bringing the morning with a chorus of song. Lift up the spirits where burden has won. There will be singing when we overcome. It's hard to imagine a world where there's peace and gentle persuasion can settle at ease. We live in the promise when the day will come. Sweet rejoicing when we live as one. Oh, choirs of angels singing on high, bringing the morning with a chorus of song. Oh, lift up the spirits where burden has won. There will be singing when we overcome. Oh, choirs of angels singing on high, bringing the morning with a chorus of song. Oh, lift up the spirits where burden has won. There will be singing when we overcome. Oh, there will be singing when we overcome. Oh, there will be singing when we As Allie Bennett said this afternoon, so that's how that goes. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again our friend, the wonderful Heather Rankin.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm so honored to be here, thank you. My first introduction to Rita MacNeil was back in the early 1980s, and she was doing a show at the time with my sister Reeny and Maynard, Morrison, and a number of other people, and it was called The Rise and Follies of Cape Breton Island. Woo-hoo. And I remember my mother, she piled a dozen or more of us into the car, 3 per seat felt, and we drove over to Kelly's Mountain to see the show. And the chatter afterwards, what we had all been struck by, was this woman who was on stage in the show singing songs she'd written herself. And we'd never heard tell of that before. A woman born and raised in rural Cape Breton, telling her own stories and writing her own songs. And so she was a big inspiration to me and to all of the Rankins and to so many. And of course, she went on to write so many beautiful and heartfelt songs, and this is one of them. We're going to try it for you now. I see the mountains, feel the salt air. I have reasons to behold all the wonders that never cease to be. You're as timeless as the water. You're as gentle as the fields. I caress you, oh, Cape Breton, in my dreams. And you never let the hard times take away your soul. And you stop the tears from falling as you watched the young ones go. You're as peaceful as a clear day. You're as rugged as the seas. I caress you, oh, Cape Breton, in my dreams. And home I'll be, home I'll be, banished the Thank you.
And here's Lauren Tweedy from Seaside Communications.
And she will be, oh, that's, sorry. Having trouble with the reading now. All right, I'm not going to lie to you. Bruce gave me rum.
You say
to accept the award is Rita's son and longtime manager, Wade Langham. And with him, Rita's daughter, Laura Lewis.
Well, this is a beautiful night. This is a beautiful idea. Wonderful inductees and wonderful, wonderful musical tributes, for sure. And there isn't anything that we wouldn't have done to ever in this room here tonight, but not to be. But, and it's always hard to speak for somebody else, but she would have been very, very proud of this Nova Scotia Music Hall of Fame. And if she had have come tonight, she would have felt with, a love and an intimacy with her musical family and friends. So we're glad to be here tonight to accept this on her behalf.
I told you I should have went first.
So emotional.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
No, it's been an amazing evening, and I just wanted to say thank you to Music Nova Scotia and Casino Nova Scotia for establishing this and making Rita one of the inductees amongst all these others. Rita was the lady from Big Pond, but she just did what she loved to do, which was write songs and sing them. And as Stuart had eloquently said in his speech, it is a big musical family here on the East. And there's, Rita was inspired by so many of these artists. And, for us to hear the songs being performed, Rita would have just been over the moon herself. And I know a lot of people in this room were a big part of Rita's career, including the Diamonds, of course, and a lot of the folks on this stage. I think they all played with Rita at one time or another, and just wonderful to see and be a part of. So thanks for having us here, and thanks for including Rita.
We've heard some wonderful voices on the stage tonight, and now we'd like to hear yours. So please join in and help as Bruce Guthro takes us home with this.
Haven't they done a fantastic job tonight? Bette and Maynard, ladies and gentlemen, just incredible. I'd like to propose a quick toast to all the inductees. What a feat to be the first inductees of the Nova Scotia Music Hall of Fame. How proud you all must be. I propose a toast to you all with Brookes' rum. There's a little bit left back there, Brookes. I want to tell a quick story about Rita before, again, just another incredible inspiration to me in my life. Myself and brother Jimmy Rankin, and Lenny Gallant and Terry Kelly and Rita did like a songwriter circle benefit for Danny Murphy over in Prince Edward Island. And it was the first kind of thing that ever happened. We raised $100,000 for Alzheimer's, and we sat around. That was all good. All those other guys I mentioned, I know fairly well, and I can kind of hang with them wherever I want, but Rita MacNeil is not so accessible. So I parked my arse right next to her when we finished, and Danny opened up his wine cellar. So we sat right at the Danny's kitchen table, and I just started talking, and I swear to God, it was like a priest had just opened up the confessional thing. I didn't mean to, but I was pouring my heart out to this woman. I was just laying it all on the line about my life, my family, my wife, my kids, my career, my everything. And then I finally paused. This was after about 3 bottles of wine, by the way. I finally paused and I looked at her, and I was waiting for the most inspirational words of my life. And you can imagine, if I'm here, Rita's me, she listened to everything, and then she just turned and looked at me and went, "Something's bothering you, dear." That was the best advice I got from her. So we're going to close off with this song. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Congratulations to everybody. This song knocked off Like a Virgin from the #1 spot on Australian pop radio. How is that for an inductee in the Nova Scotia Music Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen? Sing along, you all know it. It's a working man I am, and I've been down on the ground, and I swear to God, if I ever see the sun, or for any length of time, I can hold it in my heart. I never again will go underground. At the age of 16 years, he quarrels with his peers, who vowed they'd never see another one. Oh, in the dark recess of the mind, where you age before your time, and the cold dust lies heavy on your lungs. Here we go. It's a working man I am, and I've been down on the ground, and I swear to God, if I ever see the sun, or for any length of time, I can hold it in my mind. I never again will go down underground. At the age of 64, he'll greet you at the door, smile and gently lead you by the door into the dark recess of the mind. He'll take you back in time and tell you of the hardships that were his. Sing it with us. It's a working man I am, and I've been down on the ground, and I swear to God, if I ever see the sun, or for any swear to God, if I ever see the sun, or for any length of time, I can hold it in my mind. I never again will go down underground. It's a working man I am, and I've been down underground. And I swear to God, if I ever see the sun, or for any length of time, I can hold it in my mind. I never again will go down underground. God, I never again will go down underground.
Congratulations to all the inductees. Big, big congratulations. Thank you so much for being a part of the celebration tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Drive safe. Take care.